Hey everybody, back again. Noobs Reviews here, and today we're going to be talking about Call of Duty and basically all of their games. More importantly, we're talking about Warzone, Warzone Mobile, uh, even the regular Call of Duty mobile games that we have out right now, and the ridiculousness of shot pattern. Because I literally just drew these up a little bit ago, but over here we have center mass. Up here we have the spray and pray. What Call of Duty creators believe hip fire with a fully automatic looks like is this, and this is absolutely garbage. Hip fire with a fully automatic weapon, it does not look anything like this. According to them, if you are not looking down the sights, your rounds are going everywhere. Everywhere. And that is not the case. That is not the case at all. Apparently, the creators of Call of Duty believe that if you're not looking down the sights, every bullet travels in a different direction, no matter where you aim. And, I don't know if they've ever even held a firearm, let alone fired one. And, you see all these things going on with all these people, going to the ranges and full auto. If you're hip firing, like, we are playing characters in a game who have military experience and know how to fire weapons. But apparently, we're limp-wristed and can't hold a firearm worth a damn. It's ridiculous. If you're hip firing a weapon, it'll look like that. Full auto. If you're not looking down the barrel and you're firing full auto, your target, you're going to be hitting inside center mass. You're going to be hitting right in the areas here. You will be within the basically within the 8 area, anything inside 8, like right here, you will be inside. There we go. You'll be inside this 8. That is full auto hip fire. You're not going to be, everywhere. You're not going to aim the firearm from your hips and be able to look down and see where your barrel is, and you're not going to hit a lamp over on the far wall, over like far right or far left. You're hip fire. If you're hip firing and the firearm's right there and you're holding it, you're looking down the top of the firearm at your target. You may be high, you may be low, but as you fire, you adjust your height. It's not going to do side to side because you're going to be holding the side and the top, or you're going to hold the top, similar to what Gunny showed us in firing a firearm. You're going to grasp the top, and you're going to hold the top out. And as you fire, you will be holding out and looking down the barrel at your target, so you know where your rounds are going. That has been the standard of teaching for all military globally. But hip fire in these military styled games is you are holding it with 2 fingers and you're squeezing the trigger and you're just doing this. It's ridiculous. I mean, anybody who's ever shot a firearm you know, you know, uh, the revolver. It is ridiculous. It takes it takes 2 business days for you to reload the revolver. It takes 1 business day for it to come back down after you fired the first shot. I've got a 444 Marlin revolver. I can empty all 5 shots in maybe 3 seconds. What the hell? It's ridiculous. And that's single action only. My double action revolvers, maybe 2 seconds I can dump 6 rounds. Hell, my 22 with 10 rounds. Pop, 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 pop. I'm as fast as I can pull the trigger, that hammer's firing off rounds. And it doesn't look like this. It looks like that. I mean, the developers really need to get this shit together, because this is ridiculous. I mean, I've been in matches where you go to the gulag, right? You and one other player. You're staring down your sights, and you're firing, and the person's running, and you're running, but you're keeping your sights on them, but the rounds are just going all over the place around them. And then they're standing there, not looking down their sights, and they're hitting target all the time. That's ridiculous. I mean, it really is. I mean, it boggles the mind how these people have made millions, maybe even billions, off games that are improperly done up. I mean, you've got shotguns where the shot pattern is literally 10 feet wide. Oh, you're firing from the hip with a shotgun, so that means the spread pattern is super wide. But if you look down the barrel, the spread pattern is close together. That makes no sense at all. And you've got shotguns where you're using, buckshot in these shotguns, but when you shoot somebody from 50 feet, nah, the shot is everywhere. They maybe get hit with 1 pellet, when in reality, at around 50 feet, you're looking at a pattern that is tighter than this, where you're probably hitting the 7 or even a 6 area. I mean, your pattern is probably that wide, but it's still in this area. I mean, hell, that Tau Fighter Mouse or whatever, they're using shotguns all the time. Yes, they're slugs, but they do test a lot of buckshot too, and still, they're hitting targets better than this. And they're like, oh yeah, this, the game, it's so realistic. No, if it was realistic, then you would have real bullet dynamics. You would have real situations where, the person is hip firing, but they have not hit anything. Even literally, I am 6 or 7 meters from somebody, hip firing with a belt-fed machine gun, 100 rounds, and I hit him maybe 3 times. But they are looking down their sights at me with another machine gun with a 30-round mag, and they're shooting at me, and it looks like this. It makes no sense. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. It really does. When you are hip firing, I mean, you're probably in the 8 to 7. That is max hip fire. If you're not paying attention to where your rounds are going, then it means nothing. And this whole crosshairs, when you're firing, the crosshairs get bigger because oh, you're full auto, so your rounds are going to go everywhere. No, that's not how that works. It really isn't. When you're firing a rifle and you're looking down the scope, you've got it shouldered, and you're firing. You know where your rounds are going. You know where you're aiming. Your target is going to be hit in the 9 and 8 area, even if you're on full auto, looking down the scopes. Now, if you're not looking down the scope and you're still firing from like hip or even underarm, you're still looking down the rifle, and you know where your rifle's pointed, because when you fire firearm, you're basically using your hand to tell you where that round is going. So if you're pointing at it, that's where the round's going to go. I'm pointing at the camera. The camera sees that I'm pointing at it. I know where my finger is. That's the same thing as when I'm firing a gun. I know where the rounds are going because that's where I'm pointing. If I have, say, my pistol, and I'm not looking down the barrel, I'm at my hip or at my side like this, I know where I'm pointing. I know where I'm pointing because my body is pointing there. I know that I'm pointing there. I mean, let's do it this way. Okay, spin around real quick here. Oh, look at that. I'm just pointing at the camera. Let's do it this way. I'll cover my eyes. Oh, look, I'm pointing at the camera still. I know where my hands are. I know where the rounds are gonna go. It's ridiculous not to. It really is. Oh, look, I'm a little high. Oh, now I'm on. I know where it is. Oh no, look, I'm pointing again. It makes no sense to go, oh, they're not looking down the barrel of the gun, so when they fire the gun, it's... Oh, no, that's not how this works. You've got crosshairs on your screen, you've got the dot on your screen, whatever it is. That is your in-game mental pinpoint. I know where I'm pointing. Oh no, it's the same thing in real life as it is in game. You mentally have that pinpoint on you. You know where you're pointing. You really do. The fact that they go, well, when you're firing a gun, you're just going to be doing this like somebody with Tourette's. That's not how this works. That's not how it works at all. I mean, I am beyond stressed at the fact that people are playing this game, and people are making these games, and they have no clue how firearms work. And the sad thing is that you have far better bullet dynamics and firearm dynamics in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas than you do in current games. You have better bullet dynamics in the original Sniper Elite video game for the arcade than you do in current video games. You're firing, you have it on screen where the little dot is, and that's basically where your rounds are going to go. But apparently in Call of Duty, if you're not looking down the barrel, you're going to hit the car behind you at least 30 times. And it makes no sense. These people really got to bring that in tighter so it's more accurate. Not just for the firearms, but it's more accurate to a real life situation. Because people playing these games, they're really into it. They are dead on into it. They want that experience. But they're not getting that experience because the game's like, well, if you're not looking down the barrel, you're not going to hit anything. You have to be looking down the sights. You're going to have to scope it, because if you don't have a scope, then you're not going to hit your target. And it pisses me off. It really does. I mean, that's what you're supposed to be looking at when you're firing hip fire. This is not. If I pop, from even my bolt action rifle, or my lever action rifle, if I have it at my hip, I'm either going to hit within this line, or I'm going to hit in this line, because I know where I am lined up. It's just a matter of height at that point. And another thing with this full auto thing of, as you're pulling the trigger on full auto, your gun's doing this, and then all of a sudden you're looking at the sky. That's not how that works. It really isn't. If you're firing full auto, you are leaning into it, you are moving into it, you are pushing into it, and you're keeping it down. Anybody that's fired full auto knows. I mean, hell, there's like a million videos of full auto, and the only ones that are doing this are people that are built like chihuahuas. That's it. Everybody else can handle it. I mean, hell, there's videos of kids, firing full auto. Now, granted, there was that one incident where the kid popped the instructor, but that was the instructor's fault for doing that. I mean, that's just all on the instructor. But I digress. Game makers and designers and programmers, fix this shit. Correct it. Give us what it's intended to be and what the truth is. Not this, spray and pray mentality. Give us what we really deserve and what is correct. Because you're just making yourself look stupid.